All right, we're working on a 2004 F-150 FX4 with the 5.4 Triton, and what we're going to be working on is cleaning up this nasty K&N filter. And I have not changed or done anything with this thing since we've owned this. It's been a few years. Yep, call me negligent, whatever. Harley drove it till I got it all fixed up. Had to throw that in there. So now I drive it. Last trip that we made the upstate, I had horrible gas mileage, mediocre power. I mean, not like bad power, but something that I should have thought like, hey, you know, I should have more. Even with the 35s on the truck, it shouldn't feel as sluggish as what it was feeling. And my gas mileage was really bad, which is what I was really surprised about. And so I suspect that this K&N is just trashed. It may be beyond its serviceable life, or it's been neglected so much, just being left in here and not being cleaned and re-oiled and all that stuff. But anyhow, that's what I'm going to get in today. I'm going to show you how I'm going to clean it using heavy duty dish detergent and a good long soak, and then re-oil it after it's dried out and get it back in here. And hopefully that's going to take care of my performance and miles per gallon issue. So let's get started on this. First things first, let's get this guy loose. Actually, that came right off. But you can see a little bit of daylight through there in some spots, but honestly, you know, when you look at it, there's no way it can be filtering the way it's supposed to be, because there's just, you know, there's crap all in there and it's dried out. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to very lightly use this bristle side of my vacuum cleaner, my shop vac, and just very lightly go over the outside. I'm not gonna push in or do any kind of scrubbing motion. I don't want to disturb the cotton fiber material that's part of the filtration material. So just a really light, just to get the big stuff out of there before I do the wet clean. So I'm going to use hot water and this Dawn Platinum in here. I'm going to fill this up with hot water. I'll take the filter out. This white bucket will leave a good contrast for the material that's going to hopefully come off of this filter. And I'm going to go over how much I'm going to put in here, but I'm going to be generous with how much of the detergent I put in there. I won't have to fill this thing all the way up. So let me go ahead and get this filled up. I'm going to fill it up so the filter is completely covered, and then I'm just going to soak it and kind of keep an eye on the water. I'll probably take the filter and kind of plunge it up and down just to kind of help with some agitation and get all the junk out of the filter. And like I said, we're just gonna, that's really hot water. When you do this, you're going to want to give yourself, you know, plenty of time to not only get the washing part done, but the rinsing and then letting it completely dry out. I'm going to use a blower fan to kind of help with drying it out. And then when you oil it, same thing. You got to oil it, and you got to let that set and kind of dry, quote unquote, on the filter before you go throw it in the vehicle as well. So I'm going to give this 15-20 minutes, maybe a half hour. I'll come over about every 5 minutes, and I'll just do that agitation, that kind of that plunging up and down, just like that. All right, so this has been in here for about a half hour with the 5-minute plunging up and down. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull the filter out. All right, let's pull this out. Just gonna set it over here for right now. And we're gonna go rinse that out in the sink with some hot water too. All right, so we just want to rinse that filter out really good. Get all the soap out of it. All right, so what I did with the filter here is I did take my shop vac and I had the filter set upside down or down like that, and a lot of the water kind of pooled down towards the bottom, and I took my shop vac and I just set the nozzle just off maybe ½ inch or so, and just let it kind of pull the water that was pooling up on there, just to kind of help with the drying off process. And then I've got this little blower fan, and I've just tilted the filter up there so that it blows reverse, you know, the way that it pulls air in. And I could just feel a slight little bit of air kind of coming out. So that will help dry the filter out much faster. So I'm gonna just leave that in there. It may take a half hour, it may take an hour. I'll check it and then I'll let you know what I come up with. All right, so we've been letting it dry for about an hour and a half, and it is good to go. You can tell it's very light colored. along the crown, which is the high point of the filter there. So we're gonna take this off and get it set up and to apply the red oil. All right, so what I have is the aerosol red oil that I'll be applying on there, so I'll just be spraying on it. If you have the little oil dispenser, it's kind of like almost like a dropper of some kind. I've only seen like images of it, but if you had that, basically what you're shooting for is along these, right where my nail is at, the high point, that's where you're shooting for to put the oil. So when you do the aerosol, you're just going to spray from about 3 to 4 inches away and just kind of work your way around. Stop, turn the filter, and you're looking for a nice even red film across there, and you want to let that set on there for about 20 minutes. Move this back just a little bit further. I'm losing some light here. Obviously any extra that gets outside like on the top there on the chrome, I'll wipe that off. Okay, so we're gonna give that about 20 minutes, so we'll come back and we'll check it. If there's any areas where there's not kind of a red hue to it, we'll respray, and then we'll get it back on the truck. All right, so we're gonna pour this out. Commandeered the wife's garden tub. I gotta do this quick before I get caught and get in trouble. But I can already see it. Y'all are gonna be like, yeah, Dutch, you're telling us how to take care of automobiles. Just being transparent here, right? Holy smokes. Look at all that crap down in there. Okay, so as you can see, the filter is done. All re-oiled. Best I could get it. And what you're looking for is kind of an even coat all over it. I actually I had to do 2 coats. I think it's just because the filter was so dry from before, just being in there so long without being changed. And I actually let it set overnight. So that's an option for you as well if you're not in a big hurry. You can do that. I didn't show this earlier, but you can kind of confirm whether your filter's getting stuff or not by what's in there. That actually looked pretty clean. The other thing that I would point out that you want to be very, very mindful of is don't over oil the filter, because you can get yourself in a situation where, and then for sure you don't want it to be so soaked that you run the risk of pulling that oil through, and somehow a lot of it, like if you really soaked it down, that it would get into your MAF sensor and get that all clogged up. Then you just introduce another problem into your system. All right, got that snuck down and they're good. I can't swear for sure that in the process I didn't wick off some of the oil, or rub off some of the red oil. Maybe right in here. But anyhow, hopefully this is going to improve performance of the 5.4. Got any questions, anything I did here, any observations? Drop those down below. Thumbs up if you like the content, what you saw here, whether it was informative or entertaining, either way. And yeah, if you haven't subscribed, we appreciate you subscribing to the channel. We got more videos coming, and we enjoy to have you coming along with us. Have a great one.